Alright, so this is another one of those videos where the accessories are off. Now, when the accessories are off, it usually means I'm going deep into my feelings. Or I forgot them, alright? But this one, I'm going into my feelings, alright? Now, I've been debating to make this video for quite a while because I fear that if I made this video any sooner, things would happen to me. I don't know exactly how to put it. Maybe legal action was going to be taken against me, but I decided to screw that anxiety and make this video now because I really wanted to talk about it. Right? I've been holding this for 2 months. Yes, right. So I used to work at Sides. If you guys don't know what Sides is that a restaurant chain that was the SIDEMEN own. Right? They started off in the UK and they expanded to Singapore. I actually went there on day 2 to try out their burgers, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty good for everything, and I finished my exams and I was looking for a part-time job, and I decided, you know what? Why not work at Sides? Sides would be a pretty cool place to work at. It would be like, off the beaten path, like instead of working at a McDonald's or KFC per se, working there would be pretty cool. So I decided to sign up, and they actually responded and actually went, alright? Now I worked there for a laughably short amount of time, alright? Only 9 days, alright? 9 days is the period, alright? And out of those 9 days, I only worked 3 days before I was fired on the third day, right? Now I'm gonna explain why I got fired, and I really think it's unjustifiable, right? I really think so, right? If it's more justifiable, please tell me, but I really think it's not, right? So, you know, and I also feel like I got like led on and scammed, right? I'll explain that first, right? So when I first applied, right, I asked them for what are the positions available, right? Because I wanted to know what I'm getting into, and then they said they either have back of house positions, which is basically cooking, or like cooking basically kitchen stuff, in front of house, which is customer service and cleaning tables and all that. So I chose front of service because I'm a beginner. I don't know how to cook yet, and I'm also pretty nervous to be messing up the stuff. So I chose front of service because I'm a people person, as you know. I love talking to people, right? I really love that. And yeah, so I chose front of service. But then as soon as I told them I've never worked before, they told me that actually they didn't tell me anything. They just told me to report for training. So on the first day, I actually did do front of service on the first day, so that was pretty cool, right? So at that first day, I thought, yes, it was amazing. I love this job. And then things settled in, right? On the second day, they made me go to the back of the house, the kitchen, right? At first, it was pretty simple stuff like wiping down trays and everything, and putting in the sauces. But then they started telling me to like dip tenders into oil and then coat them in Nashville. And I was really scared. I was doing it really slow because I was really scared I would mess it up, and I couldn't do it properly. I couldn't assemble a burger for shit. And I couldn't, and like the tenders, I was just really slow at everything, right? But that wasn't actually the reason why they fired me. It was actually a completely different reason, right? Now, of course, occasionally I'll stand to the front when things were busy, which was like what I found more relaxing. Okay, of course, it's not relaxing to deal with like lots of customers, but I found it easier than like doing back of housework, which I really cannot tahan it. I really cannot. By the way, tahan is like really cannot handle it, right? Yeah. So that was it. Day, uh, on the third day, I was also made to do back of house, and I actually worked the full third day before getting fired. I actually was just told on like WhatsApp. I'll get to why I got fired later too. So yeah, I worked there too, and I actually managed to work at the front of house before like they sent me to the back of the house. Also, that wasn't the reason why I got fired. I will get to that, right? You guys talk too much, right? Let me get to that part, right? So the reason I got fired is because I sat down during break time at the restaurant, right? Now, of course, yes, it is not supposed to happen, but the thing is, I did it all 3 days, right? And the first 2 days I did it, no one said shit to me. No one said a fucking word to me, right? Everyone was like, yeah, cool or whatever. They didn't say shit. And then on the third day, a woman came up to me and said, "Oh, you can't sit here," and everything. And said, "Yeah," but she told, and I was about to get up, by the way. But then she said she was going to give me a second chance, alright? So I said, yeah, alright, sure, thank you so much. So keeping that in mind, of course, in future, I probably wouldn't do that. But then, yeah, then I left on the third day. Then 1 day later, I was actually supposed to work like the day after, but 1 day later after that, I was removed from the group chat, like from the Sites group chat, which was kind of alarming. And then I also saw my next week's shift disappear, and then shortly afterwards, I saw my next day shift disappear. Then I contacted like the head and I asked him what happened, and then like he said, "I didn't make the cut. I'm not fast enough," which I took as a valid reason. Like, yeah, of course I'm not fast enough. Fine, okay, fire me. But then I also asked for my salary in lieu because the contract stated that I was entitled to salary in lieu, and poor performance isn't really a thing where like I was poor performance isn't a reason to like fire me, right? Like no, wait, let me rephrase. Poor performance isn't that serious of a reason where like I shouldn't be having my salary in lieu. So I did request for my salary in lieu, and the 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 HR called me, yeah, human resources, they called me, and then they told me that the real reason I got fired was because I sat down during the break. First of all, I wasn't even told the first 2 days to like not do that, and then on the third day when I was there, and then the auntie told me I had a second chance. So like, yeah, sure. But then she said someone took a picture and then like sent it to the team, and then because of that they removed me and everything. And then over there they actually offered me to work there again. Alright. I said no because I'm not gonna work somewhere where they are gonna blackmail me like this. Okay, not blackmail. They're gonna like, make use of me like this. Like, okay, I don't know what the exact word is. Okay, my mind is fumbling it down here, right? And I'm already 6 minutes into the video. I really don't want to make a retake of this, right? But you know what I'm trying to say, right? I really didn't want to work with a company that like would punish me for this type of stuff, alright? Where they would fire me for sitting down, alright? And they told me they'd give me a second chance, alright? Yeah. That was a pretty shit one. Now, thankfully, I'm actually working somewhere else right now. I'm not going to disclose where I'm working until a few months after I left the job, because I'm not going to work there forever too. I need to start school at some point, right? Yeah, but and yes, this company is letting me work in the front of house a lot more. Of course, occasionally still have to go to the back, but then it's like very small amounts of time, and like it's not like actually doing shit. It's also FNB, but yeah. But honestly, sides, sorry, you guys can't do shit. Okay, no, okay. I sincerely wish you guys all the best, but yeah. Now, of course, I'm not trying to hurt anyone here. Sides still makes good food and everything, but like, yeah, I just really don't find it like a nice reason to like kick me out like that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this rant of a video. Sorry for the broken English halfway because I am trying to compose my thoughts together. It's so much information all at once. You guys gotta understand, right? I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, peace out.